Greetings everyone, and Grade here of another Advanced Wars by Web replay. So on the south side is the, I forget what it's called, Teal Galaxy Kindle. We have Charlie underscore. So on the north side is the Fire Red Drake. We got Mangs. Of course he's playing Fire Red as Drake. That's, of course, Drake is definitely the English CO with Summoning Rain, and the Fire Red is the English or United Kingdom forces. This is a lively game, I'm going to point that out as well, so keep an eye on the clock because you never know. This may give indication why someone makes a poor play because they may be just simply run out of time. This map appears to be a 3-base map, good number of seaports, airports in the corner, airport covered up by your own lander. Additionally, so you can pull off the lander to capture the point, you're going to have to deal with 1 health recon maybe. Additionally, both players do have some missile, which is Meng's natural enemy. For those who don't know the reference, there was a game on a Days of Ruin game where he lost like an aircraft to a single missile. It was not a Fog of War game. I have that replay posted, so if you ever want to try to find it, just go to my channel, search for Mangs, and you'll probably find it. It was like a Brenner mirror? Not sure. Can't remember exactly. Maybe it was Tabitha versus Brenner, I can't remember. We do have an early recon deployed on out. You may find the missile. Both the missile and the recon have the same spotting range. It does spot the missile there. The missile knows where it's at, or knows where it's not. And do have a nice little flip there. I don't think Meng's 1 health, not Meng's, a Drake 1 health recon put around to it. Does put around to the missile, wounding it, but still has enough health to one-shot battle copters. You have a tank up north, his missiles down south. Which I suppose if you get enough traveling there, you could lock down the airport with it. Though it'll have no hiding spots and be quite a distance. Got another tank there, infantry, and commits base skip. Both players stockpiling a bit of time. Tank, infantry, infantry. That'll strike the recon there. This missile is hidden, but it's not going to accomplish all too much. No aircraft nearby. Though, letting it get shot could give you some good power charge. Kindle, of course, does have a very good power, an excellent power with a good superpower. While Drake has mostly known for just superpower, but Tsunami, his power could be occasionally useful if you really want to bleed your opponent's fuel drive. Just spam that out. It'd just be annoying. It's probably pretty good as well if you have spot your opponent has a stealth. Just start spamming out the power and just drain his fuel like that. Missile slowly advancing. Anti-air, recon, and infantry. Does get a good hit there. Tank does receive a tank shot. This tank is in range to retaliate. So one thing you can do is move this tank around on the plains or on the road there. Take a shot. Oh, decided to take a shot there. Finish it off. And nope, does not stack the 4 health tank, but pulls it back there to get a good shot there. Medium tank infantry. Both players still stocking a bit of time. They have over 15 minutes each. Helicopter, artillery, infantry, and recon. Another medium tank there. medium tank infantry. So it looks like 2 medium tanks so far. No medium tanks here. Does give a good strike there. Hits that one as well. Pops the Urban Blight, wounding that same unit there, among a lot of units there, particularly the medium tank. This medium tank will be left unscathed, but a good number of tanks over here is being blighted. Does give up this capture as well. So that Urban Blight should be particularly nasty. We'll just keep an eye on the refunds that has to be paid for repairs. 21,800 funds. Of course, there's units on top of the next... Wait, no, other way around. You have to worry about fighting from urbanized properties. Tank. And 12,000 looks like about 9,000 funds of repairs. A little over. Pulls back those tanks there. Missile in a position to shoot down the battlecopter. There's also a pipe seam right there blocking the road for some odd reason. Who puts a pipe seam in the middle of the road? It's supposed to be a fun tunnel. Tank, infantry. And turn 105. Kindle starts turn 119 with 21,000 banks, so she's about 2 turns of value ahead. 18 minutes versus 14 minutes. No strikes on this recon. Does have vision of the medium tank there. Does spot this regular tank there. Has some tanks nearby to take it on. Battlecraft is getting pretty close to the missile range. Both these players' missiles are still alive. This one is still existing in this region. Does just straight up take out the battlecraft, not with the missile, but with the anti-air. Does pop the power immediately. I think this missile spotted the battlecopter, so I suppose in a way the missile did take out the battlecopter. Just as a spotter this time. Powers from Sun's going to be just bleeding off everything's fuel, just being more annoying. And the mission interrupts on a capture. Tank infantry. Landers on 28 fuel. ATR obstruct the entry in there. Nice that recon twice. It's the ATR. Infantry, medium tank infantry. Another Urban Blight's available. The 7 missiles, I think, still enough to one-shot battlecopters. Though Drake's battlecopters are particularly not great. Minus 30% firepower with only 1 counter, minus 3%. You'd be surprised how bad Drake battlecopters are after that. So Drake battlecopters should be extremely limited deployment. Recon really wants to rock and order the area. Turn has 18 minutes versus 11, so Kindle has a lot less time than Drake, but still has a very usable amount of time there. It's infantry twice. Medium tank infantry, so she's getting out a good number of medium tanks herself now. So number of properties still despicably neutral, so the city. This airport's probably not going to be captured anytime soon. You have to pull out black boat to go up there, and black boats are not in that. It's 7,500 is not necessarily cheap, but not necessarily expensive either. Though right now Drake has 33,000. What is he eyeing? We do now have full high society available. High society is a good superpower. It's just that Urban Blight is an excellent power. Neo-Tank anti-air infantry. Does pop Urban Blight and strikes the Neo-Tank. That's probably going to be hurting. Oh, I just realized something as well. That was a boosted strike from artillery piece onto that medium tank. That was a pretty good hit there. Artillery, recon. Tank infantry. 23,000 versus 24,000. 20 minutes versus 10 minutes. So both players have a good amount of time. Derek has a very good amount of time. He may go for another power just to wound everything, drain everything's fuel. Some of these tanks are starting to get running low on fuel as well. And flip a property. Neo tank infantry and commit space skip. Medium tank strikes the recon. This one infantry unit has another 3 turns. Now make that 2 turns of capture. So it's actually getting pretty close there. As much as I like want to joke as I believe in you, this is a possibility where it can. Probably won't, with those 2 infantry units nearby. Recon's good vision of everything, or not recon, missile has a good vision of that. Plus, Drake can simply sack the missile there for power charge. Urban Blight can be summoned as well, which can turn this 1 health infantry into a 1% infantry unit. As well, Drake did leave some units next to some cities there, which is not exactly great versus Kindle with her boosted damage. Because of a power, it gets plus 80% firepower from attacking from properties. Battlecopter nukes the missile there. 1 health remaining. It's gunned down there. Got a strike from the missile, or from the comm tower, urbanized terrain. We could see a typhoon this turn. It's an infantry unit there, hits the tank. Immediately pops his superpower. He does limit his own vision range as well, so it's not, that aspect's not great. Good shots there. High society's available. Which a high society artillery could one-shot that Neo tank. Because his firepower will be increased by about 200%, minus 20% to health, which is 20%. So we're looking at additional 100%, 160% additional firepower. Neo tank infantry. A high society would be, let's see, plus 25 properties, so it'll be additional 75% firepower. That would guarantee the kill off that Neo tank of high society. Pops an Urban Blight will still get some good damage. Of course, with rain, there's some impediments there. It's primarily vision. Does sack the tank there, tank infantry and Neo tank. Oops, things are getting a little overlapped, didn't they? Sorry, there seemed a little bit of a bug there. Yep, that's not great. Just give me a moment to refresh the tab. Hopefully that'll fix the issue. There we go. There's not a Neo tank there. My apologies. Tank hits the artillery. Tank hits the artillery. Black boat. Infantry. Hits the infantry unit there. Of course, another Urban Blight could be some relatively soon. And he did build a black boat there to start going for this airport. Does get that medium tank. Neo takes at 3 health. She could make it 1% health with a Urban Blight. Yep, Advanced Wars is always fun. Too bad it's not previously the entries have basically stopped. The reboot camp apparently I heard was a little bit more of a failure. It's also the sort of things, well, reboots nowadays just norm. That's where a lot of games are just creatively bankrupt in general. A lot of old IPs just wasting away. A lot of new IPs are just not good. That sort of thing. Looks like Drake does go ahead and pull back in, well, in general. Infantry, battlecopter. Insert 141. Kindle has 133, so she has a slight advantage when it comes to value, but the biggest thing is 8 minutes versus 20 minutes. She still has to use a lot of time, so she's not pressured to end her turns, but she doesn't have a whole lot of time there, so she may want to pick up the pace. Does pop Urban Blight there. Good number of units on top of properties there. A lot of units get wounded. A lot of tanks primarily. The Neotech and Mutant Tank doesn't get hit. Reboot camp didn't do great, but I like it, but it should have been much better than it was. Yeah, I actually don't have a Switch, so I never bought it myself. I just have very little reasons to buy a Switch right now. At most, I would probably buy a Switch for Shin Megami Tensei 5. That's really about it. Good shot there. But I have plenty of other computer games, since I'm a PC gamer. I prefer, well, playing, such as RimWorld and Stellaris. Tank gets pulled back there. Can also be boosted to repair with a black boat. Infantry, and tank. Yeah, it looks like the Urban Blight may have really whittled down his day-to-day funds there. 124 versus 141, so Kindle has a pretty good advantage at the moment. But this contact or airport will be captured relatively soon. I don't know if it'll pay dividends. Drake is not a battlecopter user. In fact, you should really avoid it. So you spend 7,500 funds on getting out a 1,000 income property, so it'll take about 8 turns to recover value. So you gotta be thinking about playing for a real long game if you're trying to capture that property just for income. Infantry, and ends the turn with 9,000 funds in the bank. Does get trapped there. Strikes the infantry there. Artillery, infantry, and infantry with battlecopter. It looks like Drake's about 40,000 funds behind. He does have 3,000 more income, but he's still basically 2 turns behind at the moment. Good pop Tsunami, may just save up for a Typhoon. Does not try to drop a infantry unit there on top of the mountain. Does get some good shots there, but gotta be careful with these cities. Don't really be on or next to cities. Pops a superpower. But if Kindle pops an Urban Blight, this medium tank could be down to 4 health. She may be able to finish off, then perhaps nuke the Neotech behind it. Though the tsunami will definitely slow Kindle down. Infantry recon saves 16,000 money. He has also saved 21 minutes, so that counter is going up while this is going down 6 minutes. Well, I've never seen your channel. The algorithm recommended randomly. Rush over the nostalgia taking over, talking about discipline and persistence. Seems like you have 10 years. Mostly when it comes to my videos, I've only casted Advanced Wars by Web as well as Days of Ruins Tiny Wars recently. But I mostly casted Company Heroes 2. Company Heroes 2 and Grey Goo was my first game that casted. And right now I'm mostly cast Age of Empires 4, Age of Mythology, Advanced Wars by Web, Days of Ruin. What else is there? Company Heroes 1 and 2. Lots of good games. And thank you for noticing. I got playlists if you have any particular games you want to take a look at. Neo tank, and infantry's there, so got a bit of spend there, but still has 9,000 monies in the bank. Still has only 21 minutes versus 6 minutes. Pops the Urban Blight. Does hit a Neo tank there, as well as Captain Infantry there, another infantry there, of course the reinforcements, so hits 2 Neo tanks, which is going to hurt a little bit. Does hit that tank there. Hits some units there. Anti-air, recon tank. No, I only cast. A lot of the games, or pretty much all the games I cast nowadays, I don't actually play multiplayer at the moment. It's sort of become my rule of thumb. When it comes to other games, I tend to be a bit overcritical on balance when casting games I have actively played. I feel like it sort of ruins the quality of the replay casts. Plus, on my off time, I just try to relax. I've been playing some RimWorld again. Yeah. Medium tank infantry and anti-air. Since this, my YouTube channel is more close to a hobby, since nothing's monetized, I don't really have to worry about, how to put it. It does still consume quite a bit of time, but I still need time just to relax. Because after all, I still have a 40-hour per week job, if that makes any sense. Time management. Let's just simply leave it at that. A little bit of resupply there. You take anti-air, and tank. $165,000, 145,000. So Drake's still a couple turns behind. Has a bit more income now. 4,100, or about 24 versus 25,000. So just me, there's still one despicably neutral property left. Ah, yeah, that's for airport. Artillery range of infantry unit there, but looks like in an out of vision range. We do have a fighter deploy on there. Wait. Why did she go for a fighter? She's fighting against Drake. Drake does not go heavy in aircraft whatsoever. And right now, that fighter is a horrible spend. He has a single battlecopter in the field. It is better to let that battlecopter die than rather contest the fighter with another fighter. That fighter was a horrible call. Is he expecting something? Not log. Not messages. Wrong button. That's this button I'm looking for. Both stealths and black bombs are banned on this map. That fighter's a horrible call. Oh, does pop a superpower there. Speaking about a horrible call, that's going to be consume some more resources there. This, oh wait, this lander. Landers, do they consume 2 fuel or 1 fuel per turn? If they consume 2 fuel, then they can't reach harbor. If it consumes 1 fuel, it should be able to reach harbor if he wants to save it. Which, not really important saving it. Urban Blight's not available. Does spot the recons there. Yep, it's only 1 fuel per turn. I always forget if it's 1 2 fuel or 2 fuel. First one has always been 2 fuel. I may have just mistaken about that. Either way, right now Kindle has 4 minutes to work with, not a whole lot of time. 144,000 in the field versus 138, so she sells her day-to-day income. So she's about to turn ahead. Urban Blight the counter, which it's a bunch of infantry units there. Actually, that Urban Blight's pretty bad. She has to use it for combat bonuses pretty much. Resupplies infantry unit there, but not really important. It had 8, which captured 3 turns, and 9 health, still captured 3 turns. Battlecopter will strike the Neotank with Booster Strike. Pull back this machine off the city there, get a Booster Strike onto the Anti-Air. Join captures, 9 capture progress remaining, so next turn can be captured. Booster Strike there, does not finish off. Ooh, and the Neotank gets trapped by the Recon. But not what's going to be picked off there. Answer 152 versus 103. It's hard to say who's going to win this game. Kindle right now has a superior value by a pretty good margin there. Jace saved up money though, so he has a pretty good bank. He has also even bigger bank of time. Kindle is scraping the bottom of the barrel. Yeah, I have no idea how this game's going to go. It can still go either way. Not to mention, you can probably get rid of this right there, and so because that fighter is worthless right now. And so if getting rid of that, they're actually even value at this exact moment. A lot of these battle clubs are starting to run low in fuel. The 1 health could probably donate what's little fuel and health to the 7 health one. Make some good progress there. Does into the capture. Goes for a bomber. Okay, somehow this fighter becomes more relevant. Somehow. Yeah, he has vision of this fighter. I don't think it'd be a good idea to go for a bomber when he has vision of a fighter right there. I said that's a bad call. Recon, recon, recon. Ready to reconnoiter the area. Does get trapped there. Goes to the airport, finds the bomber. No, that's somewhat suspicious there. The bomber gets upon the field, immediately the fighter beelines towards the airport. I wonder, was he streaming while playing this? Was this a stream snipe? Sure, it'd be a good spot to send a fighter to camp the airport, but still, that just seems a little bit suspicious there. It has a reasonable explanation of a place to lock down the airport, but it is somewhat suspicious about that. Could be nothing though. Does take out the battlecraft with 2 Alpha infantry in it there. Maybe it was at 1%. Battleship? Is he resigning? Lander's got sunk. I wasn't really paying attention to see if there's some sort of stream snipe, but that just seems just a little bit suspicious. If somebody wants to take a better look into it, they can more than welcome to. Pops the power. Does go for battleship, does strike right there. I suppose does have a lot of units it can cover, but I don't think the battleship was a good call. This recon does finish off the Neotank. And he's actually, oh, I just realized that he's actually capturing the HQ. I forgot the HQ is pretty far forward. So maybe that was a bit of a BM battleship just because he has the game in the bag. That's maybe what happened. Oh, I can't continue forward, so I'm guessing Kindle has resigned. Which I can probably, just go like this and... a draw? Looks like they called it a draw. Interesting. Either way, this is Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.